Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Hess, the Client Experience Manager with Kirkham Iron Tech, and today I have Tom Kirkham with me, our CEO and founder. Today we're talking about empowering IT directors. Our conversation with Tom Kirkham, IT and cybersecurity expert. So our question today is, how do you believe your company's services align with the unique needs and challenges faced by IT directors today?
Oh, that's a great question, Sam. And it's something that's of a lot of interest to us because we're seeing a huge increase in companies of all sizes. Doesn't matter how big they are, how small they are, whatever, outsourcing some or all, even all of their IT and cybersecurity needs, especially the cybersecurity needs. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. But when it gets right down to it, when you look at an MSP or an MSSP, and one of significant size like us, the investment that we make in our technology stacks, our threat intelligence gathering, our research, it becomes a lot more cost effective to outsource it. So some companies will have an IT manager, IT director, maybe two or three people on the staff, but they don't want to become cybersecurity experts. Or maybe they don't want to spend $50,000 a year on infrastructure software like ticketing systems and other things that a good MSP has to have in place to support our clients. So they will typically come on board, and if we're providing help desk services, they'll use our ticketing system. So they've got visibility into their company, and at the same time be on the same page as us. All of our products, well, some of our products are only available to the channel or to the MSP or the MSSP. They're either too expensive or just aren't sold directly because they require expertise in deployment, configuration, monitoring, and management, such as EDR, XDR, MDR. Just to lump all those together. We know it's all the same technology, but none of it, the technology itself doesn't work without the governance part, the people part, to investigate things, to understand how it needs to be deployed and configured, and all of these different things. And it's just a great compliment uh, to these companies that look at it that way. When we engage with the client, the thing that helps us the best and the thing that helps our client the best is when those IT directors make sure that their goals and alignment, or their goals and objectives, align with the overall company goals and objectives. And then they make sure and coordinate with us to make sure that we keep those things in mind, whether they're going through a real high growth period. We have some clients that are going through acquisitions, smooth things over to merge everything into one infrastructure. And the IT director or the CIO is orchestrating all of this, right? He's in the C-suite. He's talking to finance. He's talking to the CEO. Uh, or she may be talking to marketing and sales, and all of these things are configured to gear us up to properly support all the other departments within an organization. And because it's so expensive to set up a lot of this stuff to support that organization, when they do the math on it, they frequently find they're saving 20 to 30% over trying to bring everything internal. And not to mention the fact that right now, the economic climate is such that hiring this kind of expertise and experience is difficult, even in the days with remote technology, even if you're using remote workers and things like that. Yeah, I'm kind of agnostic on whether it's remote. We're blended. We have some people remote. We have others that are on, that work in the office. I think that depends on the individual. It depends on the company philosophy. But we work really hard to make sure that those things, the pros and cons of that work environment, that we minimize the cons. There's pros and cons to all sorts of it. And, those are just some of the things that we do that really align ourselves with the company's or the client's mission and objectives and goals. And in fact, our agreements are designed to where the better we do, the more successful the client is, and the more profitable we are. So our objectives are clearly aligned with the client. And that's something that you really need to think about when you engage with a security or an IT company, because if their agreement is not such that they do better when you do better, I would carefully think about that, because you want everybody to be aligned on the same page. No conflicts. You know, a perfect example of that is companies that bill by the hour. Well, first of all, you know, you can, if you've got the expertise and skills, you might be able to fix something in about 5 minutes. How do you put a value on that? Right? It was the 20 years of experience that allowed them to fix it in 5 minutes. They knew exactly what it was. They knew exactly how to fix it, and it's done in 5 minutes. If you don't have the skills, experience, the talent, the aptitude, it may take hours to fix it. So in that instance, prolonging the problem, and no one does it intentionally, but if the clock is running, it can end up costing your company more when it shouldn't. When we have a specific task to do, we do it regardless. We keep track of the time, but we don't bill by the hour. That's not a good way to do it. It causes budgetary problems and surprises and just all sorts of things. And it's something that we haven't done for a number of years. And one more point on that: if you're thinking about outsourcing some or all of your IT and cybersecurity needs, if you're talking with someone that does both, break fix is what we call it, hourly work, or all in MSP, they're doing both. Think about that a little bit, because in that hybrid environment, that MSP or MSSP's hybrid environment, they're working for customers. They're putting fires out for people that aren't under an agreement. You know, they have a catastrophic server failure, and you only hear from the MSP only hears from them every 2 or 3 years. They don't take advice like, let's replace the server before it fails. It's beyond its useful life. It is going to fail. And typically clients that use companies that bill by the hour will put that expenditure off. And then they have a catastrophic failure. You know, drives go out, whatever. And that MSP is expected to drop everything and go service that client that doesn't follow the right, best practices. They have no governance in place for this replacement, the cycle of replacements for technology. But yet the MSP is expected to drop everything and service them. Now, I have big problems with that ethically. Why would I drop everything I'm working on for an emergency, especially for a client that didn't follow our recommendations? When we have people that are paying us every single day to work for them, that's a conflict. It's very muddy, and even the best SLA agreement it's just not going to work out. So those are just a few examples off the top of my head that why outsourcing some or all of your IT and cybersecurity needs is a really good idea. And like I said, I think I read somewhere where the co-managed services are growing at 20 to 30% a year, I think. And so not only are we seeing it, but the numbers are backing that up.
Okay. Well, we thank you everyone for listening today. You can remember to check out our website. That's kirkhamirontech.com. And also remember, we are offering free security and risk assessments if you're interested for your business. Thank you.